Uh, I guess I want to make this video about my experience being shy due to my size. Mostly due to my size, I think. I have sort of a big jaw and like a biggish nose, and like big, not like big ears, but like sort of like they're kind of small, but they're not like too small. Uh, anyway, like I've said before, I probably have an 8 out of 10 face. And in my childhood, I definitely looked good. But this like size differentiation from like all the cool kids in my school sort of led them to like bully me for a while. And I used to be a part of their like gang or whatever in elementary school, like the popular kids or whatever. And then they pretty much kicked me out with this way bigger guy than me. He grew to be 6'2" and very muscular, like extremely muscular. Like I'm very muscular too, but this guy was even more muscular. So my school had all these like what you would call like chads or whatever, and I was one of them for a while. I still am, but like I'm not one of them, or I wasn't one of them in like the gang or whatever. And so that led to like a lot of bullying and like a lot of rejection. It was a good thing because I ended up making one best friend who I still have today, who's in the Army right now. But yeah, he's about 5'10". I'm just kind of pointing that out. Like he's 5'10". He got lucky. Anyway, I won't reminisce about my short size, but yeah, you definitely get picked on if you're small. And I was like the cute like boy to the girls in the class, but I was like small and the like other guys would pick on me, so that would take away from my cuteness and I couldn't get like a girl interested in me. But then I eventually did. Ever since like I was young, there's always been girls and women interested in me. Which is probably because I'm like a Chad light, high tier normie. And in the 90s and 2000s, it's definitely easier. I'm not saying like adult women were interested. Like, no. I mean, like, just like at school, like crushes. Like, I had a lot of crushes. Like, girls had crushes on me when I was a kid. And part of that was because I would fight. Like, I would like fight back, like against bullies. That was just like in my instincts. I got into a lot of trouble for that, but it would have been against my instincts to just sit there and get hit and to cry and give up. But I remember that there was this one time where it was really bad and I had to like run away sort of, and I hid in the slide, and inevitably they all found me anyway, and I was just like, I remember just like shaking and being like just very still and like just hoping they wouldn't find me. But then I started getting good at fighting, and yeah, I got in trouble for fighting a couple of years ago, like legally, and now I don't fight. Not that I wouldn't, but I don't, because you get in trouble for it. But yeah, even if you're maybe in the right, it's like seen as violence by the police, and it's not really up to question what they think about that. So anyway, it's brutal being like a short kid and then growing up to be a short man. But I'm at least not that short. It's just kind of a brutal experience. There's no mercy for short guys. Which I don't know. I even kind of get it. Like I made fun of this guy who was 5'5" once, but only jokingly. Like I just wanted to get him okay with being his height, if that was even possible. But I would just joke. I would just joke with him and be like, "Oh, he's pretty short, guys," or whatever. I don't know. I was just trying to get him comfortable with being his size, and I think that kind of worked. But I think I pissed him off too. I don't know. Anyway, I'm about 5'7", 5'8". I always just say I'm 5'8" now because it sounds better. About 5'7", 0.6 inches if you wanted to know. But I definitely feel like kind of short everywhere I go. And when I was younger, when I was a kid, I actually kind of looked at it like a badge of honor. Like I can still fight these bullies, these old friends who became bullies. And I'm even small, and I can still do this. So I wore it as like a badge of honor, like I was like going against the grain a bit. And as I've gotten older, I definitely feel that way still. But I don't know. Women are a quick, swift kick to the nuts when it comes to height. So they awaken you that smaller is not better, but they definitely awared me that smaller is not better, and at least to a woman. I'm like, yeah, I can't exactly disagree. Like I don't. It's not like I hate tall people. It's just I don't know. It'd be nice to be a couple inches taller, like 5'10", just so I could not be like considered short or on the shorter end. Because some people actually don't consider me short. And that might be because I have like big arms and big legs, like I've mentioned, and I have a good face. So I have that halo effect, sort of. And I'm not like 5'6" or 5'5" or 5'3" or something. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's some of my experiences being short and athletic. I mentioned in the Hikikomori video that you get like two genes, and they're either warrior genes or warrior genes, or something like the alleles or something. Like there's alleles within this one gene that determine whether you're going to be a normal person who worries about things and gets like business done and works without laziness most of the time, or if you're going to be somebody who is prone to laziness but maybe is a good worker with discipline. That would be the warrior gene, or like that's just something I heard. But anyway, I've got like both of those. I've got one of the alleles that makes you worry, and then one that makes you like fight or flight when it comes down to when you need to. Not like fight or flight, but like it just makes you good at fighting. And that usually is accompanied by muscles. And I'm it's not like I look like the biggest gym bro. I'm probably one of the smallest gym bros, just accounting for my height, but I don't even go to the gym now, and I look like I lift. Like it looks like I've been going to the gym for like months, but no, that's just my genetics. So I'm also overweight, but yeah. Anyway, it's even accounting for like winning fights when you're a kid or like even when you're older. It's still pretty brutal being picked on. You just have to like calm yourself down and try to get accepted by other people who won't pick on you, but that can be hard to find with like normies aren't usually very good people when it comes to that. Like they usually just join in on the shouting and bullying. I remember a lot of like the girls in class would bully me, but a lot of them liked me too. And that wouldn't have been the case if I was like an incel or sub 5. So I at least got like that experience where like bad things would happen, but I could turn it around a little bit. So where I imagine like a sub 5 guy would probably lose every fight, and then girls would pick on him too. which definitely happened a few times to me, but I didn't let it happen that long. And I had the ability not to, so I remember it definitely made me a stronger person, but it just kind of sucked. Like, I wish I could have just been friends with them. But that's kind of the nature of, like, playgrounds. Like, growing up and going to recess and getting into a fight is just sort of, like, what happens. I don't know how much that happens nowadays, but that happened a lot when I was growing up. And that was just, like, the early 2000s. So in summary, it's not all bad to be short, but it's pretty bad. And when it comes to women, it's like you can't even get them interested if they've made up their mind about height. But most of the time, but like, say I went to the gym and gym maxed for a while and lost a bunch of weight and gained some muscle, like, I'd objectively be like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 probably, and I'd have like a kind of a pretty boy look. Besides my big nose. Nah, I'm just kidding. My nose is like an average or like slightly biggish nose, but it looks pretty good on my face. Anyway, with my features and gym maxing and stuff, I probably could get like a pretty hot girlfriend, or I could sleep around a little bit. So I'm even fat right now, and I have some women actually still are interested in me. They'll give me like good looks at the gym. Like a couple months ago when I went, there was this one like kind of chubby but like pretty attractive girl, and like she was a redhead, and she smiled at me and like wanted me to talk to her and stuff, but I didn't want to have a hookup, and I didn't want to have a relationship with her. So I'm a Christian, by the way, Presbyterian now. I stopped being Catholic recently because the Pope accepts like transsexuals and LGBTQ people. So I'm like, no, you're going against the church's doctrines. Maybe I'll be a Catholic one day again if they ever return to the Word of God, or whatever you want to call that. So now I'm a Protestant, and I grew up a Protestant, but I was baptized a Catholic at the age of 1. So I was baptized Catholic, and then at the age of 8, I went to a Protestant Presbyterian church. So now I'm going back to a Presbyterian church. I haven't been there yet. I don't know which church to go to yet, but I'm planning to go. Anyway, Redeemed Zoomer is a YouTuber. You should look into him if you want to attend church. That's another thing, like, without religion, I couldn't, like, get over the trauma of being beat up when I was a kid, even though I started winning after a while. Like, I wouldn't be able to deal with it, probably. Not just probably, like, I wouldn't be able to deal with it if I didn't believe in God. So it's not even just dealing with it, it's just forgiving people and caring about other people as if they're your own. And they sort of were for a while. They were my friends for a while, so no hard feelings. Yeah. Anyway, check out Redeemed Zoomer and join a church if you want to. Not just if you want to, but if you need to. Yeah.